Hey team, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. I hope you all are having a great day and your training is going well. Today's video I want to discuss how to run better in the cold. And I know firsthand from many years of growing up in Ohio and now living in Indiana, how tough it is to get out the door and to train in very cold temperatures. And at the end of the day, you are your best motivator. You have to not hesitate when it comes to training in the cold. You have to obviously dress properly, make sure that you're taking precautions, especially if it's in the low 20s, low teens. It's very important to make sure that you are wearing the proper gear. But how to run better in the cold, it makes it even more of a challenge because in answering this question, I think about all the years that I trained in Pennsylvania and New York and Ohio and the states where most of the time the winter conditions were absolutely blizzard-like. I mean, and I've trained in sleet and every type of weather condition, just like any other athlete. But I do know that training in the cold definitely can hamper your psyche, and you have to, at the end of the day, you have to slow down and prior to going out in the cold, remember always what your main goal is, and always know that somebody, regardless if you're not feeling like going out to run in the cold, or run, if it's snowing outside or if there's snow on the ground and you just don't feel like doing it, just know there's somebody out there that is going to be putting in the work and just in case that you decide you don't want to go out and run, somebody else is going to be putting in the work. So you have to stay motivated, and again, you always have to keep your long-term goals in mind. And training in the cold definitely is a challenge, but also it makes you tougher, because we don't learn anything about ourselves when everything is easy. We learn the most about ourselves when things get tough and when the weather conditions suck and when you don't have somebody out there to push you on the track or on the roads. It's very difficult to do a tempo run or to go out and do a long run by yourself when it's 15 degrees out. I went out and I did a 10-miler 2 days ago, and it was 16 degrees out here in Indiana, and I just got zoned out. I put in some tunes, I put in some music in my ears. So definitely, I recommend definitely getting a pair of headphones, or and you get those kind now that are just either wireless or that you can just wrap around your ears and put some music on and just zone out. But keep what you're wanting to do, and keep those goals that you have, whether short-term or long-term, keep those goals in mind. Make sure you're hydrating well, even in the cold. It's very easy to become dehydrated, and make sure that, especially after your long runs or after your track sessions, that you have a water bottle nearby. And especially after you're done doing those long runs, it's very important to drink fluid throughout the day. And make sure your nutrition, you're making sure that you're getting enough protein so that your body and your muscles can recover from the hard training that you're doing. But I do know that over the years, with my own training in bad weather, I was always motivated by the goals that I set for myself. So whatever it is that you're going for, maybe you're trying to run a Boston Marathon qualifier, maybe you're trying to break a specific time and a specific distance. You have to keep that in mind and keep that as your motivation to get out the door. You have people, your friends or your family, that are there to support you. If you're fortunate like I am to have somebody in my own life that doesn't really care how fast I necessarily run, but is there to support me whether I run slow or I run fast or I DNF, or at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast we run or how fast we end up running. It's that support system that you have to have. If you're fortunate to have a group of people around you that can get out and hold you accountable to train in cold weathers, get in a group, get in a lot of their running groups in every city around the country. So get in those groups, and that will help hold you accountable to get out there on those days where you don't want to do it. But if you don't have that luxury, and a lot of runners don't, you have to rely on what it is you're going for. You have to make sure that you get out of your comfort zone, because you're not going to achieve greatness in this sport if you are not tested, if you are not taken out of your comfort zone. We already live in an extremely soft society, at least here in the United States of America, very soft society. So I kind of relish the time of getting out of my comfort zone and getting in colder weather and getting uncomfortable, because again, it's just temporary. It's not going to be forever. But once you're out there, you have to, you know, you have to get out of your comfort zone and expect more out of yourself. So I think it's very important too that mental visualization, you know, if you're training in the cold weather, make sure that you back off your paces too. You have to adjust the paces that you're running at, you know, in 20-degree weather as opposed to running in 60-degree weather, you know, or 50-degree weather. Paces are going to be, it's going to be much more harder to maintain tempo effort or run at faster paces in the cold, but you still can run great times and you still can have great performances and great workouts and great races in the cold weather. You know, some of my best races were in very cold weather, and like in the 20s and 30s. I ran my PR in the marathon when it was like 42 degrees. That's not very cold, not like it is right now in Indiana. It's about, you know, 15 to 20 degrees now, just about every other day here in Indiana right now. But there's some places, you know, Alaska, other athletes that are training in temperatures that are below zero. I've trained in that myself as well. So when it comes to how to run better in the cold, again, maintain your motivation, maintain your mindset, stay positive, make sure you're hydrating well before and after your workouts, make sure you're layered up correctly. You know, get a couple North Face jackets. I highly recommend North Face. I mean, it's like if you're wearing a t-shirt like this and you put a North Face jacket on over top of just a t-shirt, it will keep you extremely warm when you're out doing your run. So make sure that you're wearing the type of clothing that's definitely going to keep you warm as you're doing your training out in the cold weather, and just stay positive. You know, it's not going to be easy for you. It's not easy for any of us that once you get out the door and you're training in colder weather. Definitely watch your footing. It's just definitely not worth it to go out and try to do a workout and slip on ice. And you know, it's much better even if you have the opportunity and you have the luxury of getting on a treadmill, get in the gym, or if you have a treadmill at your home, it's much better to do a tempo run on the treadmill or a long run on the treadmill than to go out in the cold if the conditions are so bad that you can't even run on the roads. You know, it's much better to get out the door even if it's cold. Again, getting out of your comfort zone, getting in those elements and testing yourself, because again, we as athletes, if you want to go from average to greatness asks far more out of us than average ever will. And greatness demands respect, and it demands that we put in the time, we put in the effort, and we stay consistent regardless what type of weather conditions are out the door. Again, there's always going to be somebody else that's putting in the work when you feel like you just don't want to do it. You know, so maintain your strength up here, your mental training, your mental preparation. Stay in the right mindset even when it's cold outside. Try to stay as relaxed as you can. You know, because it's very difficult to breathe, obviously, sometimes, especially when it's extremely cold outside. But like I said, make sure you're wearing the proper clothing that's going to keep your body temperatures warm, and also hydrate well before and after those runs. You know, in this topic of how to run better in the cold, there's a lot of different viewpoints, a lot of different people online that can give you different advice, and I'm just sharing some of the tips and strategies, some things that I want you thinking about, and hopefully will be helpful for you. So if you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so when I make new videos, you'll be notified of it. And if there's any other topics or anything else you want me to cover in my future videos, definitely leave me a comment below in the comment section. Again, there's always resources below all of my videos. I have running courses, training plans, and monthly coaching available to you if you're trying to take your racing and your training to the next level. So those are there for you as well. So I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you in the next video.